I'm gonna share with you in this video how I've dealt with depression without taking any medicine, without going to any doctor, and some of the things I've done and I do to deal with deep pain. If you ever been or if you are in a depression, you can probably understand that it is horrible. It is a very deep pain that you cannot find a way to solve it. It's just been something that's been taken out of you that hurts more than a body part. You experience loneliness, you experience hopelessness, you experience thoughts of ending things just because there's something inside of you that is missing. It's a big part of you missing. One of the hardest things about depression is that you can't really talk to anybody. If you try to talk to somebody, they'll immediately shut you off by telling you you are ungrateful. Look at your house, look at your career, look what you've achieved, look at your wife, your family, your kids, whatever it is. And yes, there is an aspect that you might have certain things to be grateful for. But there is a hole in your heart that is not compensated by the other things. You can just have all the possessions in the world, you can have a wonderful family, but that thing that hurts inside is not there. And there's no way to get it back. And that's incredibly hard to deal with. You could be in a room full of people. You can be laughing, you can be smiling, and suddenly a thought comes to your mind and you can just go to the bathroom and cry. Or you could be driving down the road and just a thought comes to your head and you feel like crying. There are other days when you want to cry and you don't have any tears. You're like, what's wrong with me? How can I fix this? And we want to fix these things, but sometimes you just can't. Let me share with you what has been my issue because I understand where my pain comes from. Years ago, I did a business, and one of my attributes, one of my gifts, one of my most esteemed character traits is that I come across as somebody that you can trust. I didn't come up with that, just many people tell me that. So, based on that, I made some business decisions. I invited people to trust in me to do some business, and we failed. There were different circumstances that caused the failure, but I lost trust. I just couldn't face these people very well. I assumed my responsibility, but I just lost trust. And to me, that is just part of who I am. And that was destroyed in this business venture. So I've been dealing with depression for 3, 4 years, and it's just been hard. I'm not out yet. There are three things that I do that definitely will help you. I'm not a doctor, and if you are on medication, go ahead and continue with this medication, but you really don't need to watch this video because I just believe that the way we deal with life is through being brave and through just pushing through. Part of the pain, part of the hopelessness, part of the despair has to be dealt by standing up, by moving forward, by just dealing with it day to day, not by escaping it through medication and or with pills that just calm you so much that you don't even think anymore about your sadness. No, I'm sorry. And again, if you believe that, this video is not for you. So what are the three things that I've done and I do to deal with pain? Because I'm not out. As much as I've tried to regain trust, as much as I've tried to repay what I did, I just can't. It's just right now for me is impossible. And it's terrible. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But I've learned to deal with pain. So the first thing you need to do is find a friend. Find one person that you can share what you're going through. You cannot go through this alone. You cannot. It's not healthy for you. You need one friend. And this friend, this is what you're going to tell him. I don't need you to fix my problems. My problems don't really have a solution that will come through whatever you have to say. I just need you to listen to me. And if he's a hugger, that's better, because a hug can go a long way. Find a person and just open up with them without any judgment. Just open up with them, have them just listen to you and hug you, and be able to cry with them and just share. That has been incredibly good for me. The second thing that I've done, I am a faith person. I'm a believer. I'm a Christian, and still, believing in God, believing that God can come through is hard when He doesn't, right? But the other thing I've done is I've learned to be grateful. Because, like I said in the past, there are other things that are going on in your life, and they're good. I'm pretty sure that if you're able to stand back and you're able to see your life, there's so many things you can be grateful. Now, granted that being grateful doesn't take away your pain, but it helps you evaluate your life, not only from the perspective of the pain, but also from a perspective of gratitude. Again, this doesn't mean that you're going to wake up and you're just going to be super grateful and then your day is going to be great and you will not experience any pain. No. But if in the moments of pain, you are able to be grateful for other things. Again, it might be your wife, it might be your kids, you might have a great dog. You have probably been through experiences that you can really be grateful about. That's going to make a difference in your life. And the third thing that I highly, highly recommend is join a combat sports gym. If you look at me and you're able to determine who I am and how I behave, I'm not an aggressive person at all. At all. I had never been hit until now. When I turned 51, I decided to join a Muay Thai gym. And now, if you don't know what Muay Thai is, it's a very aggressive type of fighting. It's like boxing, but you actually use your elbows, your legs, your knees, all of your extremities, all of your body pretty much. I joined this gym because the best way to deal with mental health is through physical pain. It is just the way it is. And it's different than just doing weights or going out for a run. Let me explain why. For example, like today in class, we had to do, I think it was 50 sit-ups and 50 push-ups and then 50 burpees. You cannot fake that, right? If you go into a gym and all of your classmates, all the other guys are doing it, you can't just stop and not do it, right? You gotta at least put the effort. So when you're doing the sit-ups, it's like, okay, this guy's doing it. I want to stop, but I'm not gonna stop, or I'm gonna stop and rest, but then I gotta go back and do it, right? It is unbelievable how much this type of combat sport has helped my depression. Now, to be honest with you, sometimes when I'm going to the gym, I cry and I put a song or I just reflect on certain things and I'm broken. But when I get into the gym and I start working out and I start learning and practicing, I tell you, the mental toughness I've gained from being part of that has been immensely helpful in dealing with depression. It helps so much. So I'm going to be sharing in this channel my journey into Muay Thai and other things that have helped me in my dealing with depression. And hopefully you will be able to find somebody you can relate to, because dealing with depression, dealing with pain, is really hard. It's very hard, and not everybody understands it. So follow along and share this video if you know somebody that's dealing with depression that can be helped through my advice.